for testability. Yes. Of the screen is visible. Screen is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So friend, we have started a design for testability and we have discussed in last lecture for why need a design for testability. Great. And gone through the history of design for testability, and now we'll start today. First is the testability analysis. So it is similar to analysis of any electronic circuit, right? Suppose any electronic circuit, if you want to analyze in terms of its current and voltage, we are analyze what is the voltage at different node and what is the current passing through any branch through using different laws and different theorem. So in this analysis, here we want to analyze a testability analysis. So stability analysis means we want to find out a controllability and observability of a different node in any digital design. So that is analysis. So from a given design, we have to find out what is the difficulty level to set any internal node. It is called a controllability. And what is the difficulty level to observe any internal node level, logic, that is called a observability, right? So testability analysis, it is relative to measure the effort or cost of testing a logic circuit, right? And testability analysis, the process of assessing the testability of a given logic circuit through a different techniques. So like in a network analysis, we have different techniques, and similarly to analyze testability, it has its different techniques to find out the internal node controllability and observability. So first technique is SCOP. It is developed in this Scandia laboratory. So its name is given as SCOP, controllability and observability analysis program. So SCOP is developed in a Scandia laboratory. So name is given Scandia Controllability Observability Analysis Program, and widely known as short form as a SCOP. Right. Another technique is, this is first technique, as another technique is based on the topology, right? So this is the broad category. So topology based testability analysis are scope, and another is the probability based testability analysis, right? So these are the two testability analysis technique based on the topology based, right? And another broad category of testability analysis is simulation based testability analysis. So we'll see one by one. First we start with the topology based testability analysis, and first we'll see a scope. So through the scope we'll analyze controllability and observability for a given logic circuit. Right. Let me start what is the testability analysis of a scope. And before that, let me define what is the controllability and what is the observability. That is our output in analysis. Like if we are analyzing any uh, electronic circuit, our output will be the either the voltage at any node or the current passing through any component. So similarly, in this testability analysis, our output is what is the difficulty level to set the internal node with any desired logic value. So it is called a controllability. And what is the difficulty level to observe any internal node at the primary output, it is called a observability. So controllability means reflect the difficulty of setting a signal line to a required logic value from the primary input. So yesterday we have explained this controllability and observability with taken one example, and I explain the if you want to set any internal node with the desired logic value, desired logic level. Suppose I want to set with the logic level 1 or logic level 0. So I can set through the primary input, but to reach that internal node, in between have some logic level, between have some logic gates, right? So that indicate the difficulty level. So observabilities reflect the difficulty of propagating the logic value of the signal line to the primary output. So if you want to observe what is the present logic level at the any internal node, we have to be propagate that internal node logic up to the primary output, up to the nearest primary output. And for that, whatever the difficulty we have to observe. So here the difficulty in terms of the number of stages of the logic gates, right? Or the number of stages in a sequential block. So we'll find the difficulty level in both the case, controllability, combinational difficulty and the sequential difficulty. So any questions in the definition of controllability and observability? Controllability and the observability. Any questions? Let's continue. Testability analysis. I think I have not started the recording. Okay, we already have started the recording. So before go with the scope, let's define some term that we are going to use in this testability analysis of the scope. So first term is CC0, CC0 of S. Okay. So this indicate, let me change color. So first term is the CC0, which indicate the combinational zero controllability. Zero stands for this zero controllability, and CC stands for the combinational controllability. Combinational zero controllability of at any line S. Right? CC1 stands for the combinational one controllability of S. Right? S, it is the internal node. S is the internal node. COS, which indicate the combinational observability of S. Combinational observability of S. SC0 indicate the sequential zero controllability of S. SC1 indicate the sequential one controllability of S. And SO indicate the sequential observability of S. So we will get the controllability and observability sequential and combinational separately. Right? So we'll get the two figure. One is the indicate the combinational controllability, another indicate the sequential controllability. If our circuit is a sequential circuit, if our circuit is a purely combinational circuit, then the sequential controllability is 0. Right? So the difficulty level of sequential controllability is 0 or 1. That it is not any sequential block, so there is no any sequential controllability and observability. Only we have to find out only a combinational controllability and observability. But for any sequential circuit, so in any sequential circuit, it's have the combinational circuit and the some memory block or the clock block. So in that we will get a combinational controllability as well as the sequential controllability, right? So is it clear for the digital combination circuit and the sequential circuit? And yesterday I have asked the questions, combinational difference between a combinational and sequential. I didn't get the that perfect answer, the difference between the combinational and sequential. The difference between simple combination sequential is combination circuit in which the output depends only on the present input. That is the combination circuit. Digital circuit in which the present output if depends only on the present inputs, right? Then we can say those circuit are the sequential circuit and combination circuit. For the sequential circuit, present output it depends on the output. It depends on the present input plus previous output. plus previous outputs, then it is called a, this is present output. If depend on the present input and previous outputs, then it is a sequential circuit. And in combination circuit, present output depends only on the present input. Right? It is a function of some present input. It's not equal, but it is a some. It depends only on the present input. Then we can say the circuit is a combinational circuit. So it is clear difference between the combinational circuit, digital circuit, and the sequential digital circuit. And in combinational digital circuit, we have to find out only the combinational controllability and observability. And for the sequential circuit, we know it's contained a combinational part. It's some portion is the combinational parts with some memory elements like a flip-flops or a registers device are there, right? So here you can see my output, it depends on, these are the previous output, right? This is a previous output because it's stored in present is stored, so it will be the previous output as well as the present input. So present output, it depend on the present input as well as the previous output, right? So in sequential circuit. So in sequential circuit, we'll find combinational controllability and observability as well as the sequential controllability and observability. So any questions in this definition of CC0, CC1, CO, SG0, SC1 and SO? Yes? No. So value of the controllability range from 1 to infinite. 1 to infinite, right? And the value of the observability range from 0 to infinite. Value of the observability range from 0 to infinite. And value of the controllability will range from 1 to infinite, right? 1 is the minimum difficulty level and infinite is the maximum difficulty level. And similarly in observability, 0 will be the good. 0 is indicate the 0 value of the observability indicate the minimum difficulty level to observe the any intermediate node logic at the primary output, right? And the infinite is the maximum difficulty level. SC0 and SC1 value from the primary input are set to be 1. So these are the rules when we start this testability analysis. So this is the rules when we start analysis any digital design in terms of the testability. Like if you want to analyze any electronic circuit, right, we have to start with some rules like we apply the Ohm's law, like that we are applying KCL when we are finding the voltage and current. So same way to find out the controllability and observability, right? First step is to the CC0 controllability 0 and the combination controllability 1. Value of the primary input, at the primary input it has to be set to 1. So each primary input have the CC0 and CC1 value, it is equal to 1. Similarly for the sequential controllability 0 and sequential controllability 1, value of the all the primary input are set to be 0, right? And for third is for the observability of combinational observability and the sequential observability, value of the primary output are set to be 0. So these things we have to set when we start a testability analysis of any digital design. So let me have some zero controllability and observability of a different logic gate. Right? So testability analysis of a combination controllability calculation rule for the AND gate. For the AND gate, zero controllability for the primary input, output, and any branch. It is a minimum of input zero controllability is plus 1. Minimum of input zero controllability plus 1. Right? So that is a zero controllability of an AND gate. let me similarly the one controllability of the AND gate, it is summation of input one controllabilities of all the inputs plus one. That is the one controllability value of the AND gate, right? For the OR gate, why it is so? Here it is minimum 0 controllability plus 1, and for the 1 controllability for the AND gate, it is a summation of 1 controllabilities of the all the input plus 1. Why it's so? Can anyone? Why here it is an minimum and why it is here summation? So it says, suppose I have the 3 input AND gate, right? Controllability means we want to set any output, we want to set output with a desired logic level. That is means a controllability, right? So here suppose if you want some desired logic level, suppose if you want to output at the desired logic level 0, right? Logic level if you want to see 0, so we can set the 0 by keeping one of the input of AND gate is 0, then also we can keep the output is 0, right? So it is minimum. Suppose this have a 0 controllability value. This is this input, it is output of some another gate, right? So I am not drawing that like that, but let me write only the value. So suppose this input have the 0 controllability is 3 value, here it is in 4 and here it is in 2, right? So this using this lowest controllability value, we can set the output of this AND gate 0 by setting the input of that gate is 0. So this is 2 controllability. If we can set it 0 with its difficulty level is 2 plus 1. Plus 1 is it is a added one stage in a designing. So one logic gate stage is added here. So for that it is plus 1. So here the difficulty level to set the logic 0, it's 2 plus 1. So here the difficulty level is 3. Now suppose we are giving 3 to some another gate, right? Like that. So here the difficulty level is 3. Here the difficulty level, suppose it is from from another gate, and here the difficulty level is suppose 5. And suppose if you want to set this point as in logic 0, right? Then what is the difficulty level? Here it is 3 plus 1. We are crossing one stage, so it is 3 plus 1. So here the difficulty level is 4, like that. And why it's summation to set the one controllability? One controllability means we want to set the output of AND gate with the logic 1. So that output of AND gate is 1 only when all the input are 1, right? So we have to do the summation of controllability of all the input plus 1. So suppose here it is 2, difficulty level is 2, here the difficulty level is 1, here the difficulty level is 3. To set the logic level input 1, then the one controllability is 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 this, right? So it is equal to 7. So this way we have to calculate the 0 controllability and 1 controllability. Similarly for the OR gate, so in a OR gate to set the output is equal to 0, we must have all the inputs are 0. So that's why for the OR gate when we have the 0 controllability, here it is a summation. So it is a summation of input 0 controllabilities plus 1. And to set the output of OR gate is equal to 1. We can set if any one of the input of OR gate is 1, then output is 1. So it is a minimum of input 1 controllabilities plus 1 that can set the output of OR gate is equal to 1, right? For the NOT gate, right? So if you want to set the output of NOT gate with 0, so it is an input 1 controllabilities, right? It is an inverse, right? So here we want to output of the NOT gate, if you want to set the 0, we need a 1, right? So if we have the input is 1 plus 1 because it is added one stage, right? So it is plus 1. So input 1 controllability plus 1. For to set the output is equal to 0, input 0 controllability plus 1. If you feel anywhere difficulty to understand, please ask the questions, right? Do not waste your time. Fourth one is the NAND gate. So in a NAND gate, what should be the zero controllability when output of NAND gate is equal to 0? Can anyone tell me when the output of NAND gate is equal to 0? What is condition for that? All the input are 1, then and then output of NAND gate is 0. Is it right? Am I right? If all the input are 1, then and then output of NAND gate is equal to 0. So it is, we have to ensure all the inputs are 1. So that's why it is a summation. And input are 1, input 1 controllabilities, right? Plus 1 because it is one stage is added. So plus 1 is everywhere. NAND gate, when will get the NAND gate output is equal to 1? Can anyone tell me? NAND gate output हमने 1 क्यारे मळे? Can anyone tell me when will get the NAND gate output is equal to 1? Now I pause myself and I want answer from you. Yes. So if any one of the input is 1, then we'll get output of any one of the input is 1. No. Your answer is wrong. Simple in a digital gate you are not know, then how we will answer the question in placement. Kindly prepare the well.
Input is 0.
Yes, any one of the input is 0, it will produce the output is 1. So condition for the NAND gate output is 1. If any one of the input is 0, any one of the input is 0, it will produce the output is equal to 1, right? So what should be the controllability equations? So you can see here any one of these, so minimum any one of these, not necessary all the input must be 0. If any one of the input is 0, then also it produces the NAND gate output is equal to 1. So that's why it is a minimum input 0 controllabilities, right? Any one of the input is 0, it produces the output is 1, right? So when we are calculating the 1 controllability of the NAND gate, we have to take minimum of input 0 controllabilities plus 1, right? For the NOR gate, can anyone tell me when will get output of NOR gate 0? When will get output of NOR gate is equal to 0?
Any input is 1.
Yes, any one of the input is 1, it produces the output is equal to 0. Any one of the, right? So that's why it is a minimum. Any one of the input is 1, then output of the NOR gate is equal to 0. So that's why input 1 controllabilities, any one of the input is 1, it produces the output is equal to 0. So 0 controllabilities for NOR gate is minimum of input 1 controllabilities plus 1. Now for the when the output of NOR gate is equal to 1, when will get the output of NOR gate is 1? When will get
All
the
input are 0.
All input are 0, then will get output of NOR gate is equal to 1, right? So all must, that means it is a must, all input must have 0, then it output is 1. So here it must, so it is summation. So summation of input 0 controllabilities of all the input plus 1, that is the controllability, 0 controllability of the output of NOR gate, right? Now say for the buffer. So in a buffer is whatever the input, it is output, it is a buffer, right? So if you want output is 0, we have the input is 0, then produce the output is 0, right? So input 0 controllability plus 1, and when we output 1, so it is input 1 controllability plus 1. Now for the XOR gate, so when we'll get the XOR gate output is equal to 0? When will get the XOR gate output is equal to 0?
Both 0 or 1.
Both 0 or 1.
1.
Yeah. So in two condition we'll get the output of XOR is equal to 1. Either both the input are 1, right? So both the input are 1 means CC1 of A and CC1 of B. Or both the input are 0, CC0 of A and CC0 of B. In both the case, both the condition, will get the output of XOR is equal to 0, right? So we have to take minimum of these two summation. If the CC1A plus CC1B or CC0A plus CC0B, which is minimum out of these two, that we have to take to calculate the zero controllability for XOR gate. Okay. Now when it produce the output is equal to 1 XOR gate, so output is equal to 1 whenever the one input is 1 and another input is 0. So CC1 of A and CC0 of B. In that case also it produce the output of XOR gate is equal to 1. Otherwise when A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 1, then also will get the output of XOR gate is equal to 1. So it is a CC0 of A plus CC1 of B. Then also will get output is equal to 1. So whatever the minimum out of these two, that we have to take to calculate the one controllability of the XOR gate output. Is it clear? Right? Now for the XNOR gate. So similar to XOR, here this is XNOR. Now in XNOR, we know we'll get the output is 0 whenever both the input are different. Right? So minimum of these two we have to take to calculate the zero controllability of XNOR, and we'll get the output of XNOR is 1 when both the input are same. Right? So CC1 plus CC1B or CC0 or CC plus CC0B, whatever is minimum summation that we have to take consideration for to calculation of one controllability of XNOR gate. And for the branch, it is a stem 0 controllability and stem 1 controllability. Branch means it any fan out branch. Suppose this branch we are giving two input to 3 different logic. So whatever this controllability as this state, same the controllability to all, right? It is same. So zeros and 1. Whatever the one controllability is same as the one controllability to all the branch, and whatever the 0, that is 0 to all the branch. So these are the rules of the calculation of combinational controllability of different logic gate. Calculation of combinational controllability for a different logic gate. Right? Any questions in this rule? Not need to mug up the rule. Right? Do not mug up the rule. Try to understand it. Otherwise, you will not able to remember this many rules, and it will have more burden. So try to understand, not mug up the rule. Now we'll see the combinational observability rules for the different logic gate. Right? Observability rules for the different logic gate. Right? So let me see for the AND and NAND first. Suppose this is an AND gate. Right? This is an AND gate, and they have the 3 input. Let's see that primary output, it's AB input of XOR and XNOR gate. Okay. So here, if you want to observe at this primary output, right, any one of the inputs. Suppose I want to observe this as the primary output. Right. What the difficulty level I have to face? So difficulty level I have to face, I have to control the remaining 2 input. Remaining 2 input I have to control as a logic 1, right? Then and then I can be observe the this as a primary output. So for AND and NAND gate, it is a summation of, because I have to be keep this other input, it's to be 1. So it is a summation of output observability, whatever the observability at this, comma the one controllabilities of other input. These 2 input we have to control to pass or to observe this X as the primary output. We need to control the remaining input of the AND and NAND gate to be 1. Then and then we can pass. Then and then we can observe that the logic level on this line at the primary output. Otherwise, we cannot be observed. Okay? Suppose this is AND gate, and here the logic level is X, and this is my primary output Z, right? So when this Z is equal to X, whenever the remaining input are 1, then and then Z is equal to X. So we can say we can observe this X at the primary output if we if we set the remaining input are 1, then and then we can observe, right? So the condition rules for observability of AND and NAND gate, it is summation of output observability and the one controllability of other input plus 1. Right? Similarly for NAND gate, if you want to observe any input of the NAND gate at the output, suppose this X we want to observe, we have to set the remaining input R1, then and then we'll get Z is equal to X bar, right? Otherwise we will not observe this X at the primary output. So here also we need to be set remaining input must be a logic 1. So that's why for the AND as well as for the NAND, observability equation is same. It is a summation of output observability plus the one controllabilities of other inputs plus 1. Now similarly for OR and NOR gate, if you want to observe the any input of OR gate at the primary output or it's at output line, so we need to be set other input are 0, then and then X, Z is equal to X, otherwise we will not get Z is equal to X, right? So here the equation is summation of the output observability plus 0 controllabilities of other input instead of 1. Now for the OR and NOR gate, it is a zeros controllability of other inputs plus 1. So when we calculate the observability for AND and NAND gate, we have to consider the one controllabilities of other input, and when we calculate the OR and for the NOR gate, we have to calculate the zero controllabilities of other inputs, right? So for NOT and buffer, it is output observability plus 1. For the NOR and NOR, for the NOR and the XNOR gate, it is an output observability plus mean of CC0B or CC1B, right? And for the B, output observability mean of CC0A or CC1A plus 1. So if we are finding the observability, suppose I have a this NOR gate which have two input A and B, and suppose I want to calculate the observability of this input. So observability of this input is whatever the observability of Z plus minimum of either we have to set B as a 0 or B as a 1. In both the case we can observe this A at the primary output. If we set the B as a 0, then the Z is equal to it is equal to A bar, right? And when the B is equal to 1, then Z is equal to A. Right? So in both the case we can observe. So that's why it is a minimum of CC0B and CC1B. Similarly for the B input, if you want to calculate the observability of the B input line, then the minimum of A CC0A or CC1A plus 1 and the plus the output observability of the XOR gate. For the stem branches, for the fan out branches, it is a minimum of branch observabilities. That is the equation to calculate the observability for a different logic gate. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, now let's take this example to calculate. Let me have to draw in a wide screen. Let me have a 1-bit full adder. And let me calculate its controllability and observability at a different node. So in 1-bit full adder, we know it's have first two input XOR, right? And output is with the another XOR, and here it is an AND. here it's and then XOR and CMU and then volume. Okay. Right. This is circuit for the 1-bit full adder. Now let me find the controllability and the observability at the different node. Right. So what is the rule? So what is the first step? We have to keep all primary input set CC0 and CC1 value is equal to 1. So here A is a primary input and we'll keep the notation like first we keep the CC0 and then CC1 and then observability CO. Right? This is our notation. So whatever the value is first, that is our CC0 value. So here CC0 and CC1 value we have to keep is equal to 1 and 1. So this is the primary input, B is also primary input and this is primary input. And the for all the primary output, all primary output set CO value to be 0. So here 0 oblique and 0, right? Now we have to be calculate that here observability value and we have to move. So to calculate the controllability we have to move from the primary input toward the primary output, and when we calculate the observability we have to move from the primary output to the primary input, right? So let me calculate the controllability at this line, right? So what is the rules to calculate the controllability of the XOR gate? What is the rules? Can anyone tell me zero controllability for XOR gate? CC 0 value of XOR. What is the rules? When the output of XOR gate is 0, when will get the output of XOR gate is 0?
0, 0 and 1, 1.
Yeah, so we have to take either the 0, 0 or 1, 1. So it is a minimum of CC 0 of its input A. Let's say this is A input and B input. So CC 0 of A plus CC 0 of B, or CC 1 of A plus CC 1 of B, right? Either of minimum of these two we have to take to calculate the zero controllability of the output of XOR gate. So output of XOR gate is 0 if both the input are 0 or if both the input are 1. Right? So plus 1. This is the equation. So what is the value? Let me substitute the value of CC0. So CC0 is this one, right? First value is CC0. So it is 1, and CC0 of B, this is also 1, and CC1 of A is also 1, and CC1 of B, it is also 1, plus 1. So here minimum of 2 oblique 2, so it is 2, right? So answer minimum of 2 oblique 2 is 2, so 2 plus 1, it is equal to 3. So here zero controllability of output of XOR gate, it is 3. Is it clear how this value came 3? Any questions? That's why I have draw the example, and step by step I am calculating the all the value, so we'll get the clear idea rather than directly explaining you in a PPT. Is it clear how to came these 3? Any questions? Those who have question, though, they have to unmute your mic, and you have to ask. You are responsible for that if you're not getting the logic, right? Now let me calculate the CC1 value of the output of XOR gate. CC1. So what is the equation? When we'll get the output of XOR gate is 1. Whenever when we'll get the output of XOR gate is 1. Either the A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 1, or A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0. So in both the case we'll get the output of XOR gate is 1 plus 1. Right? So what is this CC0 value? So CC0 value is 1. Right? So CC0 value is 1. What is CC1 value? CC1 of B, it is also 1. CC1 of A is 1. CC0 of B is also 1 plus 1. So 2 comma 2 minimum, it is 2. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So CC1 value of XOR gate is also 3. CC1 value of XOR gate is also 3. Is it clear? Any questions? Okay. So now let me calculate the for first AND gate. So what is the equation to find out the CC0 of AND gate? So for AND gate, output is 0. If any one of the input is 0, then it produce the output is 0. Right? So minimum of either the A input is 0 or B input is 0. In both the case, we will get the output is equal to 0. Right? So minimum of CC0 comma CC0B. So minimum of CC0A is equal to 1, CC0B is also is equal to 1 plus 1. So it is 1 plus 1, it is equal to 2. So CC0 value of the output of AND gate, it is equal to 2. What is the CC1 value of the output of AND gate? It is equal to summation of when all the input are 1, then output is equal to 1. So it is summation of input 1 controllabilities. So it is CC1 of A plus CC1 of B, right? Plus 1. So what is the CC1 of A value? It is 1. CC1 of B value, it is also 1. Right? So 1 plus 1 plus 1. So it is equal to 3. So CC1 value of output of first AND gate, it is 3. Is it clear? Any questions in this? Now let me calculate for the second OR gate. Now you have to calculate it. So what is here the input is this is output of first XOR gate. It is one of the input. Another input is C, and for the C is already have the 1 and 1, right? So use this 3/3 and 1/1 and find the output of first second XOR gate, that CC0 value and CC1 value. And for second AND gate, use this output of first XOR gate, which is 3, 3, right? And another input is C, so it is 1, 1, and calculate the output, and then whatever the output with this C, right, 1, 1, and calculate for the At the carry out, what is CC0 value and CC1 value. Now start calculate. Yes, you got this answer. Now let me do a calculation of observability. Right? So in observability, we have to move from the primary output toward the primary input. So when we calculate the observability, we have to move from the primary output to the primary input. So and we have to take all the primary output. Observability is equal to 0. So this is observability is 0. So third value is observability. So we remember first value is CC0, second value is CC1, and third value is CO, which is observability. So it is in this format, right? So primary output have the observability 0. So now we have to move further, move forward. So let me calculate the observability of the OR gate, right? So in OR gate we know the OR gate it's have a 5, 4 and 0. So 0 is observability. Now we want to calculate the observability of first input of OR gate. Let me say this A input, right? So what is the equation to calculate the observability CO of A input, right, in a OR gate? So first of all, if you want to observe this input, we have to set the other input is 0, right? So it is, we have to take the mean of others input at 0. So here only other input is only 1. So whatever the CC0 value of B plus the output observability. So output observability of that gate, output CO plus 1, that is the observability of this at this line. So at this line observability is, what is controllability 0 value for the B? It is equal to 2, right? So 2 plus 0 plus 1, it is equal to 3. So here it is in 3, it is in observability. Now to calculate the observability of line B, it is a CC0 of A plus output observability plus 1. So CC0 of A, CC0 of A is 2, right? This is also 2. So 2 plus 0 plus 1. So another line observability is also 3. So here it is equal to 3 and this is also equal to 3. Is it clear how to calculate? Okay. So this line it is equal to the output. So this is equal to 3. And let me calculate the here, right, from this observability to the observability of input of this second AND gate. So we know for the AND gate, when we can observe this AND at the output, we have to keep other input is 1, right? So we have to calculate, suppose I want to calculate the CO of X, it is equal to, suppose this is Y input, so then it is a CO1 of Y plus CO of Z plus 1, right? So CC1 of Y, let me see what is this value. So this value is 1. This is the value CC1 of Y, it is 1. CO of Z, what is the observability at the output? Observability of the output at of the AND gate, it is 3 plus 1, so it is then 5. So 5 is the observability of the input of second AND gate, one of the input of second AND gate. Another input CO of Y, it is equal to CC1 of X plus CO of Z plus 1. So CC1 of X is 3. CC1 of X value is 3. So 3 plus Z, CO Z value is 3 plus 1. So it is 7. So here it will be the 7. So this line is 1 oblique 1 oblique 7. Now let me calculate the observability for this NOR gate, XOR gate. So in XOR gate, if you want to observe this as an output, either it can be observed by setting 1 or 0, right? So whatever the minimum that we have to calculate, suppose this line is X, this line is Y and this line is Z. So equation of CO of X for this, it is minimum of either CC0 of Y or CC1 of Y plus CO of Z plus 1. So what is the minimum of CC0 of y or CC1 of y? A બે માંથી જે minimum હોય that we have to take to consideration for to calculate this CC0 of x. પણ અહીંયા બંને value same છે 1 and 1. Right? So minimum is 1 plus CO at the output it is 0 plus 1. So it is this value is equal to 2. Right? Similarly for other input this value is 3 plus 0 plus 1. So this will be the 4. So this line have 1, 1 and 4 and this line have 1, 1 and 7. So what we have to take a minimum of these two. So 1, 1 and 4 you have to take as an observability. Right? So we can observe this C through this line it will have less observability through this at this primary output. If you want to observe this C at the carry primary output, if the observability value is higher, so it is more difficult. Right? Now let me have to calculate the first AND gate. So if you want to set this line is this, right? So what is the observability of this line? It is the output observability plus 1 controllability other line plus 1. So it is 3 plus 1 plus 1. It is equal to 5. So this line have the 5. Similarly for what is for this line it is equal to other in C it is 1 and 1 plus 3 4 plus 1 5. So this is also equal. So this is clear. Complete example testability analysis process using the scope analysis technique and the rules of combinational testability analysis. Any questions in this? How to calculate a controllability and observability at different node? Okay, let me keep up to this in this lecture and then we'll continue. So today we have gone through a combinational testability analysis using the scope analysis technique, which is a topology based testability analysis technique.